Okay, hey everyone, so today I'll be doing an unboxing and first impressions on the Matchbox Tootsie Roll series. So these are a series of Tootsie Roll themed cars. I'm not too familiar with Tootsie Roll because frankly it's not being really sold in Singapore, or at least I have not really seen Tootsie Roll candy in Singapore. But I am aware that it is a brand that is popular in the US, and obviously this is a nostalgic candy for the Americans. But yeah, I think the main reason why I picked this up is really because it's on sale, and these are interesting Matchbox vehicles that I think are really worth taking a look. And let's just get into the series. So I have the full series over here, as you can see, number 1 to 6, and they are really in vibrant colors, as you can see, so really exciting. However, for Matchbox, I think what we are very familiar with Matchbox is for obviously their detailed front and back tempos. They really look like replicas of cars that we see on the streets. However, these are really not like that at all. These are more akin to Hot Wheels, having the side liveries and skipping out on the front and back tempos, right? Because these are obviously more fun castings as compared to the regular Matchbox that we are familiar with. So without further ado, let's just get into it in the order of the series. So for our first Tootsie Roll vehicle, we have the Volkswagen Caddy delivery. So let's just take a look. So here we have the vehicle. So this is the Tootsie Roll Pop Cherry. You can see that there's an owl eating the lollipop. So really cute graphics. The top is actually metal, but there is this plastic base that is orange. You can see that this one does not come with the front tempos, so it's really just a plastic piece, but the same side tempos. The back, no tempos as well, but you can see the windows are a slight tint of orange. So a very thematic vehicle, the Volkswagen Caddy delivery in a Tootsie Pop livery. So that's interesting. And we move on to the second vehicle, which I think would be the most popular, which is the Ford GT40. So the Ford GT40, let's just take a look at the casting. It's a very, very nice casting. Just a very mean looking vehicle. Now it says Sugar Daddy. It has the number 4 on the vehicle. Nice golden wheels. So that's a really nice part of it, in a yellow color. Nothing much to say about this one. I mean, there's no front and back tempos. It's really just a side, like what we have seen with the Volkswagen. So number 3 is the O2 Hummer H2 SUV. This one has Tootsie Roll stamped on the sides. So being a H2 Hummer, now it's definitely on a smaller scale, right? Because I think the Hummer should be slightly bigger, if I'm not mistaken. So yep, that's the Tootsie Roll Unit 3, because it's the third vehicle in this particular Tootsie Roll series. It's a nice textured roof over here, nothing at the back, just the Hummer being embossed in the plastic base. Yeah, it's a pretty cool Hummer. Hummer H2 SUV concept, 2002 tooling, 2015 retool. So that's the Hummer. A pretty nice vehicle. I would say so far these are all pretty nice cars, with a very interesting Tootsie Roll livery. Okay, the fourth one is a very big casting. So this is the Chow Mobile. I think this should be a fantasy casting. It's a food truck, but in a kind of a candy truck format. So just look at the graphics. It's really cool. It says blow pop charms, don't burst my bubble. What does it say? Fun house. So the tempo work over here is not extremely clear. It is actually the the sort of pixelated kind of tempo work that is done on, say, like the Hot Wheels Premium. So as you can see, there's a little bit of pixelation, but I think overall it's not too bad. The body of the food truck is actually plastic, so all the pink is plastic. The roll cage, I mean not the roll cage, the, what do you call that, is in plastic as well. The top is see-through, but there's nothing inside. Overall, a nice livery at this side, and on the other side here is where the magic happens. It's super detailed. There's so many different types of candy on the sides, and just looks really awesome. Now the tempo work is again the sort of pixelated kind of tempos, so that's too bad, but I think overall it's still a nice casting with a lot of details for you to look at, for you to really admire. The body is plastic, but we have a metal base. So it says Chow Mobile 2014 casting. So overall, it's a pretty nice vehicle. Just a lot of things to really look at, right? It's really cast into the plastic and tempoed on with the different colors. So that's pretty nice. Now moving on to the fifth vehicle in the series. This is the Austin minivan. So the Austin minivan, this says, what does it say? No one? I think it says no one, junior mints, creamy mints in pure chocolate. So I think overall it's a pretty nostalgic looking kind of livery. Small vehicle, even has a tow hook at the back. Nice. Nothing, no tempos at the back, but it's just a nice small Austin minivan. The same livery on the flip side. Yeah, overall a pretty nice casting. Copyright 2006, the Austin minivan. And so lastly we have the Volkswagen Beetle 4x4. So the Volkswagen Beetle 4x4, so it says 6, because it's the 6th car in the series. Topical dots. What does it say? Assorted tropical flavored gumdrops, in a pretty small text, but it's clear. So this is like a Volkswagen Beetle, but made in a rally style, right? With the raised up profile with the giant wheels. It's an interesting casting for sure, with a single exhaust at the back, but not really my favorite. It just looks a little bit odd to me, but overall quite a creative casting, I would say. And an interesting way to end on this series. So overall, these are the castings in this Tootsie Roll Matchbox series. Overall, I think it's definitely an interesting lineup of vehicles. I would say not really the type of vehicles that I typically collect, because obviously they all skip out on the front and back tempos, and so they are not really realistic, but they are definitely nostalgic collectibles for people that grew up with Tootsie Roll or are into Tootsie Roll. Definitely these are interesting vehicles to take a look at and to add to your collection. So that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.